Yo, I'm here to tell you the war is over. No need in carrying on, being enraged, being aggressive, and in being a lunatic in the ways that makes you so defensive. What happened was not your fault. Every day gives us that opportunity to go about making ourselves better. So tell yourself, look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that the war is over. The things in which you have to go about doing in order to go about sustaining life, you no longer have to go about doing. If yesterday you stole so that you could eat, come to terms with what you had to do in order for you to go about surviving. The testing point in life is that it will see to what extremes will you go about doing what is asked of you in order for you to go about going forward. Just because you stole, that doesn't make you a thief. Any person that steals in order to go about eating, that person is doing what survival is asking of them. If you must lie, lie. But don't become a liar. Know that today is a new day. The things you did, you knew no better. Because survival brings out that will to keep on going. But the reason I come off and say this in this accord is this. Too many of us are living in a survival mode. And if we're merely surviving, we're not thriving in life. The fulfillment of life is to have us go about thriving and go about having us live our best life. Now, in order for us to go about living our best life, we must come to terms and realize that what we endured yesterday produced the embodiment of what you go about seeing in the mirror every time you look at yourself. Life asks us of things at different points in time. Life is no straight line, but yet we keep on marching on. So just go about telling yourself that the war is over. The things that you went about doing in order for people to go about liking you or being accepted by your peers. You did those things because you did not know better. You did not understand in order for others to go about liking me, I must start liking myself. In the abandonment of that you went from man to man, that you went about looking for love in all these different type of ways, was to go about showing you that you have to love yourself in order for others to go about loving you. The violation and humiliation of being abused as a child by those who were around you. There is no excuse for that because the wicked piece of shits will have to go about attaining and answering for what they did. But that does not make you who you are. The war is over. I need for each and everyone to start loving themselves. Some of the things that we have to go about putting up with just in order for us to go about surviving from a day-to-day basis. It's demanding. Yes, I give you that. But yet at the same time, Look for ways in which you can move yourself from one station to the next so that you may go about finding that peace in your life that is so truly deserved. Make it so that because the terrors of war, the mortars of shells, the constant gunfire that happen abroad and overseas do not go about triggering you. For you to stay in a combativeness that you want to go about fighting each and every person that comes into your life. We must come to realize that we're home. And if your home is not a state of peace, then I wish for you to go about seeking that peace that you go about needing to go about living the fulfillment and prosperity in life that life is trying to go about giving you. You must come to realize we must move our state of mind. We must move in how we're going about looking at things. We must go about moving in how we're going about anticipating life. Because not every fight is meant to be fought. And not every engagement needn't be met with hostility. But because we have encompassed a survival's mentality in which we go about looking at life from a day to day, we do not move on from it. Certain things call for certain actions. Yes, I give you that. But the war is over. You will learn that in all things there are seasons. There's no winter all year long. There's no summer all year long. So why are we still staying in this survival mode all year long? When do we go about getting that time to rest? When do we say that I have gone about abusing myself and this is enough? You see, when we come to realize that life comes in different lessons and stages, and in order for us to go about elevating, we must leave one stage of life behind just in order for us to go about coming up with a healthier state of mind. Make it so that whatever is troubling you, whatever you have been through, go about finding that peace within yourself. Whatever you have done, go about making peace with it. Let it be. That does not go about defining who you are. And the only way to go about finding out who you are is when you start going about letting go of the triggers that are holding you back. Because too many of us are at war with ourselves. By the way we have been treated, by the way we have been downtrodden, by just how society have just gone about manipulating and having us leaving us believing that we are not worth a damn. But the ones that we're fighting is we're going about fighting ourselves, and we need to stop fighting ourselves. We must find that peace in order for us to go about going forth. The war is over. The things you did, the things that seems as if though they were the only solutions. Life is wanting to show you that there's more. And by you engaging and letting go, I pray that you come to see that the war is over. Make it so. Do your best in you going about attaining that peace that is a peace of mind, a peace of heart, a peace at heart, and a peace that goes about bringing stillness and calmness in every situation that you go about finding yourselves. Because I will go about telling you the one thing about life is that what we go about vibrating, the energy that we carry, that energy will in turn come about finding us. So if we're vibrating from a hostility, if we're vibrating from a negativity, if we're vibrating from a bitterness, that energy will in turn return and show you this is what you're calling for, so this is who you're going to go about getting. For even in war, the wounded truly never recover. And those are the casualties of war. These are the things that goes about showing you that we truly never recover. But in order for us to go about getting better, we must start the healing and take life one day at a time. And in each day, you make it your business that you go about doing the best you can and not going about reverting back to what you did in order to go about surviving, because there's a better way. This is a journey which goes forward. There's none that have ever gone from a senior citizen back to a baby. Yes, in the physical sense we do, but in the conscious level, we have to go about seeing that life goes forward. And in the forward movement of things, that's where progression and progress comes to go about helping us make it so that each day we become grateful for our many blessings in the sea. Some of the things that we go about taking for granted is there greeting us each and every day. So in changing our attitudes, in changing the way how we go about viewing life, that will help us to realize that these things that we're holding on to, they're traps, which brings nothing. And if one is going about doing nothing, not to go about bettering themselves, bettering their mind state, not to go about bettering their environment, then one is merely surviving. So I must ask you, are you surviving or are you thriving? Because the war is over. What you have gone through, that does not go about defining who you are. What you're going through, that's merely a lesson that you must go about developing understanding. So you see, the more we grow, the more we will come to know. So sorrow comes for those who come to understand that in the placement of life, these things which burdens us, because for the enjoyment in life of all is to go about finding peace. And then with finding peace, then we will go about practicing love for each and every one. But if our energy is engulfed, if our energy is engulfed with bitterness and rage, then we will continue to be at war. Like what Brother Bob says, there will be rumors and rumors of war because of the way how we go about living. Mankind as a whole is not going about embodying the philosophy in which life goes about bringing blessings on top of blessings. Now that's my message. Make love and peace with one within.